Welcome, everyone. So good to see everybody. We're back. Glad to have you here. Welcome to the very first World Folk Music Association concert in well over a year. And you get to be the first audience here. I also want to welcome those on our YouTube channel for joining us through live stream. Couple of quick reminders. I want to thank Herb for coming. He's with Focus Music. They're co-sponsoring this event. So thank you for being here, Herb. Another housekeeping thing. We all have these little pocket computers that work as phones too. Can we all pull those out and silence them? I'll wait for you. You can do it now. Thanks. Also, no flash photography or video during the performance would be appreciated as well. And with that, let's see. Masks on except when eating or drinking. And then this last thing is, it says stay 6 feet away from others in theater or in lobby. So I'm going to say let's stay physically distant but not socially distant. I think that's something we've lost lately. Let's stay socially close but physically distant for safety. And then for those watching online, if you want to make a donation, wfma.net/donate.htm is your link to donate and support the artists that are performing tonight. With that, we have a treat for our opening act. Those of you who've heard her and know her, love her probably like I do. We have Heather Aubrey Lloyd opening, and when we were picking an opening act, she was near the top of my list. She's got the songwriting chops just as good as Buskin and Batteau, and I said that's what this show needs. And she's local, and over the years she's played a little bit of everything from bait shops to clothing optional resorts. And her first solo CD, A Message in the Mess, which has the best artwork ever on the front. I love it. It received a Director's Award for Album of the Year for the Mid-Atlantic Songwriting Contest. She's got the 2018 No Depression Magazine Songwriting Award finalist, 2018 Falcon Ridge Folk Festival Most Wanted Artist. I was there. I saw her at Falcon Ridge. She did awesome. 2018 National Women's Music Festival Emerging Artist, 2007 Telluride Troubadour Top 4, and this is just the beginning for her because I think she's up and coming and will continue to do great things. With that, I will stop talking and let you enjoy the real music. Please welcome Heather Aubrey Lloyd.
Man, I had them darken up the house because you are beautiful and terrifying. I have been sitting in my house playing to a tiny dot and a list of comments for the better part of a year and a half, which is not what people in my line of work like to do. We like this. But it's like having been married and going on your first date all over again. It's like, everything's gonna be okay. So I decided the best way to make it okay was just to make it extremely awkward immediately out the gate. So, Anxiety and Depression Club in the house. Woo! You can say, it's okay. I've been a member of that club most of my life, and it took me a while to get okay with it. People say things like, oh, that person's demons finally got them. I hate that. That's part of who you are. And your demons are smart. Sometimes smarter than your angels. Your angels say dumb things like, oh, stick around, he'll change. Angels are dumb. Demons say things like, join a band. You should join a band. So this is a song in celebration of that which people would sort of cut apart from you. When I am gone, maybe too young, and when you mourn, all you might have done sipping your whiskey, singing my songs, and cursing my demons. Got me after all. Well, spare me your pity. Give me my due. And think more of me than you do of you. 'Cause you were love to my demons, but you'd never say, beloved mistress, kept in the shade. 'Cause my so-called angels did me no favors, caused as much trouble as the devil ever did. I loved the wrong man, played savior, so heavy a conscience, for so good a kid. But oh, the forgiveness I've known in the dark, the velvet obsidian of my broken hearts. Would I be different, trading my blues for all of that sunshine that's working for you? 'Cause my kind of fire drives me to the ledge, where I look over flames at my back, and I do not jump, and I'm not consumed. But when I'm myself, they say I am doomed. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's true. So when I am gone, maybe too young, and when you mourn all I might have done, sip on your whiskey, go ahead and sing all my songs, but be kind to my demons. With me all alone. Thank you, guys. We're going to stay in the down, and then we're slowly going to bring it up into a depressing place. But I am a folk singer, so I got to go with what I know, I got to stay in my wheelhouse. So I survived quarantine by live streaming and making lots of muffins and things like that. And I did a little bit of songwriting and wrote myself a lullaby because I needed one. I call this my Back to the Future folk song because it's written from the perspective of future me coming back to tell sort of child me that it's fine, you've already done it. Look, I'm here. So this is called Are You Lost? We'll get out of this, my child, you'll see. I've done my share of wandering. Are you out here in the woods all alone? Are you lost or did you lose someone? And I know it's been far too long, and daylight is a fairy tale, a nursery song. The hours slipped away and the months halfway there. Now you're back at one, but oh little one, I've been this way before. So many roads, no one can be sure, but I found the way and I made it through to pass it down to you, and you will too. And all the while you're lost, sure as you are seeking, you are being sought. I know it's hard, I know you lie awake, but it's okay, you get to be afraid. And hey, we'll be this way again. So many roads, no knowing where they end, but we'll find a way and we will make it through to pass it down to you, and you will too, and you will too. So I have come up here to exercise sort of the thoughts in my head. It's been a rough news week. I'm not going to get into it. I'm a journalist before I was a songwriter, and I sort of write songs like a journalist does. I find stories I like and I tell them to you, but I don't necessarily beat you over the head with my opinion about it. And I think we've lost a lot of that, and it troubles me. This is a collection of stories, some of which are true, some of which are fashioned together from things people told me. Anybody around here from or near Ellicott City? You're at least familiar. Nice. And your response will have to be woo, because you're all just little white blobs in blue light right now. It's a little alien, like Autopsy. I feel like, you're hovering over me. Like I said, you're beautiful and terrifying. So, I had helped a friend of mine after his apartment flooded 7 feet of water. He was a basement apartment when Ellicott City flooded the first time. And it hit me as I'm helping him clean, because they were sending, they could grab like a box, you know, whatever you could fit into a box in like 10 minutes at a time. And I was washing mud, silt and mud, out of the coffee cups. And that really solidified in my mind the height of that kind of water. And people go back and people rebuild, and then a couple years later they got hit by yet another one. And I thought about the people who live bravely in floodplains. There is a culture sort of ruin and repair. It takes a different kind of person. And so this is a song in honor of people who live bravely in floodplains. In my town built over the river, fortunes rise and fall with the shoreline. You can almost sit and watch by the high times, followed by low. In my town, afloat on a river, you learn to hold your breath when you're little. Mind the rain and the weather vane, child, 'cause you never know. My daddy saw the streets washed away and the earth broke open like the end of days. His granddaddy too lost the family estate, but no one said nothing about moving away, because the sun will explode in an age or so, and all that we made will burn, and the river will flood my beloved hometown every millennium. And still we live, and still we build right here in the lap of the gods. But the valley is ours, the valley is ours. It takes faith in a town on a river to sleep through the storms of the summer, but the locals are used to the culture, ruin and repair. First it's tears in a town on a river, but then it's sawdust and sweat in the Tiber. Just wait till the concrete is dry and start over again. My mama saw her brother swept under, home from the funeral to mud in the cupboards and drawers, and the neighborhood mourning that it all came clean with enough scrubbing, because the sun will explode in an age or so, and all that we made will burn, and the river will flood my beloved hometown every millennium. And still we live, and still we build right here in the lap of the gods. But the valley is ours, the valley is ours. When life is the valley, we walk in the shadow of death. Sometimes I fear evil, please don't tell Jesus, but I had a dream. We snuck on the ark, Noah didn't see us, said we were monkeys, and they just believed us. Everyone there was way too busy watching the news about Ellicott City. My town built over the river, fished the clock twice from the Patapsco. Who knows, we could all take our boats and save us some time. Oh, and where else could we go that would be half as beautiful, to wait out the end of it all well, I've chosen mine. Because the sun will explode in an age or so, and all that we made will burn, and the river will flood my beloved hometown whenever it wants. And still we live, and still we build right here in the lap of the gods. But the valley is ours. The valley is ours. The valley is ours. The valley is ours. All right. Thank you guys so much. So you've been very, very patient with the sorrowful bits. So let's chipper it up a little. I had a friend told me a crazy story about his grandparents. Grandpop slept on the couch. The kid had only ever seen Grandpop sleep on the couch, and so he had figured when he was a kid, oh, Grandpop must have been a louse, you know, they were a good Catholic family, and maybe he ran around on her, but they wouldn't get divorced or something like that. So finally got to an adult age where you can have those conversations, be like, so why did Grandpop sleep on the couch? Did he mess around on you? And Grandma was like, no, we were mad for each other, but I was tired of being pregnant. Like, you can't sleep in the bed with me, you can't sleep in the bed with me. And so, after I think it was something like 10 kids, she's like, nope, I'm done. And I thought that was sad, you know? I wanted to rewrite their story. I don't want to play this tune on ukulele, but I really wanted to play it tonight because it, I think, is relevant to some of the current conversations. Oh, honey, I love you. Ain't no denying. We stood up in the church, everyone was crying. Over the threshold, I just went a-flying. Couldn't wait a minute, finally had to try it. First comes love and then comes marriage. Then comes a baby in the baby carriage. But love, love, another carriage. If we keep it up at this rate, don't know how we gonna manage. Oh, baby. Baby, 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 yeah. The Bible, I read it. I know the Lord said it. Be fruitful and multiply, or you might regret it. Fun to make an army or a baseball team. In the family band, the title can't hold the tambourine. First comes love and then comes marriage. Do they make a tandem like a baby carriage? Love and love, another carriage. Gotta fake a headache just to sleep upon the mattress. Well, hey, honey, the twinkle in your eye can go sleep outside. Love you so much, it's hard to say no. But a decade of loving and buns in the oven and diapers in dustbins till they overflow. First comes love and then comes marriage. Getting frustrated with the rhythm method. But love, love, you know I've had it and 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 had it. Well, we all have needs to feed and to plan for, and you're the only one I'd ever want. I'm calling Daddy, but let's break tradition on this monkey business, or you can permanently hide your banana. First comes love and then comes marriage, then a little visit to the doctor's office. But love, love, wants you out of the bandage. Nothing wrong with getting just a little savage. Nothing quite so sexy as some family planning. No one in the house, kids are at my parents'. Baby, you're my only baby now. I'm going to switch guitars here for just a second. Many years ago, Facebook's just the worst, first of all. I used to write songs, about all my breakups, but now I'm married, and eventually you should stop that, So now, basically, I write songs about things that upset me on Facebook. And thankfully, that is just a boundless fount. But every once in a while, something neat comes up on Facebook. And the neat thing that came up on Facebook was a picture of a spray-painted wall in the city of Aleppo. And the translation underneath of it was, "To the girl who shared the siege with me, I love you." And I read the comments, which you're never supposed to do, but I did. And I'm glad I did, because native speakers of the language were arguing the translation and saying that girl was debatable, that it was certainly the feminine, but also the way you might refer to a city or a town or something in the feminine, to the city that shared the siege with me, I love you. And I loved it in both incarnations. And I wanted to tell its story. The city's coming down around us now. I found the shell in that bakery. I used to love the pastry as a child, but now everything is empty. All these beloved places are now so sharp. Every turn is jagged as a war. When it started, we did not believe, but now we have forgotten life before. And she sheltered here as I, nervous glances turned to trust in time. And though we would have never been so bold, between the bombs she slipped her hand in mine. If we are to die here, what could be the harm? Huddled crying in a stranger's arms. If they care nothing for the dead, what care we for the shame? Couldn't even hear her name. Is it closer or is it far? I used to count the spaces in the thunderstorm, the 9 gates of the ancient citadel. But now we find there's nowhere left to run. The ash, it looks like snow on her hair, the final snow that I may ever see. I didn't travel far and make my name, never found a calling or a family. If we are to die here, what could be the harm? Huddled crying in a stranger's arms. If they care nothing for the dead, what care we for the shame? couldn't even hear her name. Oh, to the girl who shared the siege with me, I love you. Lovely as the land where I was born. I wonder if we will see the morning. Is it closer now, or is it far? Is it closer now, or is it far? Thank you, thank you. I got 2 more songs for you, and then I'm going to clear the stage for Buskin and Batteau. Very cool. See, I don't even know how to put on a guitar strap anymore because I've been like sitting in front of a camera. I'm all worried I'm going to like trip over a guitar cable and, face plant on the stage. All these things, you got good at before, and now it's like, who knows what could happen. So I spent 56% of my brand new marriage in quarantine. That'll test you. We survived, though, so I maintain if we made it through this, we can do just about anything. I came late to marriage. I came late to everything. This is a song about coming late to all the things you love best when you're frankly far more ready for them. To the ribbons in my hair look far too girlish for the gray. Do we put our hearts away? Who says it's time? I'd rather not look foolish. Maybe I'm too old to do this, but we don't get to choose our prime, and yours might not be mine. If we come too late to all we love, by the only road there was, do we not get to dance for as long as we can? If not for as long as we want, if not for as long as we want. Oh, couldn't wander any faster, had to weather every mile. Couldn't gather all the treasure in a day. Wisdom in my eye, but all they see time, gaining like an enemy, and I try not to agree. 'Cause if we come too late to all we love, by the only road there was, do we not get to dance for as long as we can, if not for as long as we want, if not for as long as we want. Oh, lines on my face, like the lines on the page. Can I trade the heartbreak for the song it brings? So I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna sing, yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause we all come too late to all we love, by the only road there was. And it is there we will dance for as long as we can, if not for as long as we want, not for as long as we want, if not for as long as we want. Oh. Thank you guys again so much for being here and being gentle with me. There's so many of you. But nicely spaced and all that good stuff. So thank you again to Focused and the World Folk Music Association. And stick around. I think we're going to take like a little break, and then it's the Buskin and Batteau of it all. I do have CDs with me. You can totally come out and talk to me in there. If you think your money is dirty, I promise you I will take it home and clean it. I will love it. I will keep it for my very own. And if you want to do, you know, electronic, like ninja spy transactions, we can do that too. Anyway, this is one of the songs that I have on the CDs I have with me. Oh, a man who won't have me has the last of my love, and the bud blooms once, now a man humans, and the heart beats blood, yeah, the heart beats blood like a good heart should, like a good heart does. Still some nights it feels empty as a painted shell, drained so slowly through a weeping hole. I hit it for the hunting, but I did it far too well. Now no one can find it, not even myself. Oh, a man who won't have me as the last of my love, and the bud blooms once, now a man humans, and the heart beats blood, yeah, the heart beats blood like a good heart should, like a good heart does. Hey, you take the weight off broken legs, sling up arms and hands, but the heart keeps on working even when it's on the mend. Resting on the edge, always headed for the floor, but always steady at the ready, even if you don't know what for. Oh no, 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 oh no, no, da da dum da da dum da da dum 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 dum, oh no, no, oh no, 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 no. Oh, a man who won't have me has the last of my love, and the bud bloomed once, now a man humans, and the heart beats blood, yeah, the heart beats blood like a good heart should, like a good heart does, like a good heart should, like a good heart does, like a good heart should, like a good heart does. Thank you guys so much.
Another hand for Heather Aubrey Lloyd. Thank you, Heather. That was wonderful. Did you all enjoy that? All right. Okay, we're going to take a short break here. A couple of things before we go. As Heather mentioned, she's got CDs back there. There's some other stuff back there. So re-entry back into the theater is proof of purchase of a CD. Wait, I can't do that? Oh, I guess I can't do that. I tried. I tried, Heather. Anyway, we also have some flyers out there for some upcoming shows. So be sure to grab that. We've got some limited refreshments that are donation only. So if you grab something, you want to leave $1 or $2 to help cover the costs, that would be great. For those watching online on our YouTube channel, now might be a good time to make a quick donation. WFMA.net/donation.htm. With that, we will be back in about 20 minutes, and we'll have some Buskin and Batteau for you. Thanks.
Good evening. For those that don't know me, my name is Chuck Morris, and I'm the president of the World Folk Music Association. And I'm really glad you're all here. This is great. One of the first things that we do after intermission at a lot of our shows is have a little drawing. So we have a couple of prizes for the lucky winners. And the first one we're going to give away, you should grab it, Herb. It's under the DVD there. Okay, the first prize, courtesy of the folks at Focus Music, is a 5 CD set by Pete Seeger. Ooh, yes. So Herb has picked a ticket. It's a red ticket, and the last 3 digits are 478. 478. Going once. Going twice. Where? Back there. Okay. Thanks, Bill. Now, as I said, that 5 CD set was courtesy of Focus Music. The best I could come up with was only a 3 DVD set, and this is of the Chad Mitchell Trio. It's called the Chad Mitchell Trio Then and Now, and it's something that every Chad Mitchell Trio fan should have. So, we will give away the Chad Mitchell Trio DVD to the holder of a white ticket. Last 3 digits are 223. Oh, that's right. Okay, and we are giving away the Pete Seeger set again.
5 times.
5 times. And it's a red ticket. The last 3 digits are 475. That's fine. Thank you. I'm sorry, I couldn't see all the way in the back, so I think now I know why that was returned. Okay. Before we go any further, I would like to thank a few people. First of all of the performers this evening. So Heather, David, Robin, Marshall, and who knows else might drop by. I'd like to also include the staff of the JCC. Bob Lehman is the facilities manager. Maytel Regev and Ellen Kraft were the rental coordinators, and Ellen is here in the room tonight, enjoying the show. And let's have a big hand for Noel Kendall on sound. He's doing a great job. Keeping everybody fed backstage, as usual, has been Shelley Kaplan. And doing an outstanding job of the live stream is Abigail Wortman in the back. So I'd also like to thank Brent, who has helped out in numerous ways, and including getting the show started this evening. And our other volunteers are Tom Bryson, Yvonne Morse, Bill Mims, Joanne Nana, Joyce Sika, Paul and Joyce DeMint. And last, I would like to thank a couple of folks from Focus Music, Rob Hinkle and Herb Levy, both of whom who have done an outstanding job of publicizing this event with us to make sure we have a good crowd. And Rob is not here tonight, but Herb is, and he'd like to say a few words about Focus Music.
A few words. You know, that's something I haven't had the pleasure of in a year and a half. Focus has been doing shows virtually, but nobody to laugh at my silly jokes. Or even one of the most delightful things listening to Heather, other than listening to Heather, which is fantastic, is hearing applause. I cannot imagine, I can imagine being an MC without applause. I'm getting that right now. But I cannot imagine being a performer without the feedback of an audience. So, you know, you guys you've been there, I know, attending virtual shows and supporting this music every way that you can. But being here tonight is a great thing, so thank you. Just want to mention very quickly a couple of upcoming Focus shows. Next Saturday night, we are again partnering with the World Folk Music Association, but this time virtually. David Roth will be the performer. And next Saturday is September 11th. And I think when we thought about that date, we thought about somebody who could both touch our hearts and lift us a little bit. And David Roth is that person. Later this month, we're doing a really interesting show with the Rumi Forum, which is a group of Muslim Americans. It's a local band that you probably haven't heard of called Tabla for Two. The male member of the band is from Afghanistan, which is a wonderful place to be from these days. And female is American, but both are Americans, but she's American born. The show will actually be taking the poetry of Rumi and putting it to music. So a very special show, also virtual, September the 23rd. And our show after that, we're going to be virtual for a little bit, but in November we're going to go back to being, Focus itself will be performing or producing live shows for as long as we're able to do that, as long as it's safe to do that. But our October show will also be virtual, and it's James Keelahan. And kind of a special wrinkle to this is that in addition to being an extraordinary performer, James also is the booker and producer of the Summer Folk Festival in Ontario. So he'll be bringing or virtually presenting a bunch of Ontario musicians that we probably haven't heard of, but should. So again, focusmusic.org is how you can access these shows, buy tickets, but most of all, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you, Herb. I would just like to say a little bit about the World Folk Music Association and our upcoming concerts. 2022 is a big year for us. It will be our 40th year of presenting folk music in this area. Back in, when the organization first started, one of our first concerts, 1983, featured a folk singer by the name of Carolyn Hester. Now, Carolyn was a central figure in the folk revival of the 60s, but she remained kind of out of the limelight. She didn't get the recognition that she probably deserved. And I learned a few things about Carolyn after, in preparation for having her come to a concert for us. I didn't know that at one time Nancy Griffith stood in line to get Carolyn's autograph. I didn't know that she frequently collaborated with Buddy Holly early in her career. I didn't know that a kid from Minnesota asked her if he could open for her. He ended up playing harmonica on her first album, and the result was his first record contract with Columbia. And of course, that was Bob Dylan. I have it on good authority that when Tom Paxton first heard Carolyn sing in New York City, what he said was, "I postponed breathing until the song was over." And if you don't believe him, ask him the next time you see him. Okay. So Carolyn will be joining us on September the 19th at the Arts Barn up in Gaithersburg. We've done a few shows there, and it's a very nice small venue. Good, thank you. And opening for Carolyn is one of the finest 12-string guitar players and tenors that I know, and he's sitting right here in the front row, Sean McGee. So tickets are available now on our website. Beyond that, we have Dave Rowe coming back to do a concert at the Lyceum in Alexandria on October 23rd. We have David Mallet coming back on November 7th. And that's going to be co-sponsored with Focus Music as well. And on December 5th, we'll be back at the Arts Barn featuring Shenandoah Run. So that's it for us for this year. So now, thank you. It's a pleasure to introduce our next artists. I have wanted to get these guys back for a full show for many years, and it's between pandemics and other scheduling things that just haven't happened. But we finally got it to happen. They have appeared at many of our annual concerts. They're two of the most talented musicians and songwriters that I know, and their percussionist is not bad either. I first heard them on Dick Sari's Music Americana and program on the radio, and I became an instant fan. Throughout their career, I was disappointed every time they decided to break up and go their separate ways. And I was ecstatic when they decided to get back together. And as of about 30 minutes ago, they're still together, so I think we're good. A Buskin and Batteau concert is truly a unique experience. I think most of you know that. This pandemic has kept us from enjoying music for far too long, live music for far too long, and I can't think of a better way to bring it back. Please welcome Buskin and Batteau.
Thanks, Chuck. You know, some acts got a little rusty during the pandemic, but we haven't lost an inch off our fastball. They filled it in. That was really sweet. That was a great introduction.
You know, that so many wonderful people have played in the WFMA series and are coming up in the series. And the name James Keelahan popped out for me because I heard him on the radio recently telling a story about when he first heard the version that Cry, 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 which Richard Shindell sang, recorded of his song Cold Missouri Waters, which is just a masterpiece. And he said, and this is something that every songwriter wishes would happen all the time when you hear someone else do your song. He said he pulled his car over to the side of the road and he cried because it was so beautiful. If you haven't listened to it lately or at all, go listen to it and try not to cry. All right, let's stay in the same key this time or we'll be crying ourselves. What have we done?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You used to ask for the moon, wrapped up in ribbon and lace, and you used to get it just for the smile on your face. This time it wasn't so easy, not like before. This time you took a taxi home. You're not a kid anymore. You're not a kid anymore. You're not a kid anymore. You got jumped by the mirror. You got your telephone bill. Seems like everything's moving and you're standing still. It's a fight fitting into the old habits you wore. It's time to slip on some downtown shoes. You're not a kid anymore. You're not a kid anymore. You're not a kid anymore. You rose so fast, you climbed so high, so far to fall. To navigate at this altitude, don't look down. It's only where you've been, that's all. That's all. And there will be mornings, even love is a chore. You got to lie in the bed you make. You're not a kid anymore. 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 You're not a kid. You're not a kid anymore. 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 You're not a kid anymore.
Thank you, Cleveland. Thank you.
Well, it's funny you should
Yes.
mention that. when we wrote it, we thought we were not a kid anymore. And now everything in my grocery cart says for fast relief. If I want a rim shot, I'll ask for it.
Ow.
That's one mosquito that'll never bite again. Ready?
What do we got?
I don't know about that beard. It's like working with Trotsky.
You got the same beard, it's just upside down and over your lip.
Oh, yeah.
She looked good every time she walked in the room. She could throw into shadow the stars and the moon. When it all went down, everything was all she took. She left me with nothing but the goodbye look. The goodbye look, the goodbye look, the goodbye look, the goodbye look, the goodbye look. She looked good in crimson,
She looked good in crimson.
her just skin and pearls,
And in pearls.
curls of an angel,
The tears of an angel.
tangled up in curls. I was tangled in her heart for as long as she let me. How was I to know it'd be so easy to forget me with a goodbye look? The goodbye look, the goodbye look, with the goodbye look, the goodbye look, the goodbye look. She blew into my
the desert. Cuts right into your soul and just rips it in half. You don't have to believe it's forever to love her. I can still smell her perfume. I can still hear her laugh. I looked out the window and dreamed I could see her in a red 57 Bel Air Chevrolet, with the top down, her hair flowing back like pale fire. A trick of the moonlight, I just looked away with a goodbye look. The goodbye look, 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 goodbye look, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye look, goodbye look, goodbye. Thank you, guys. And thank you for being with us for all these years. Don't remind me.
Let's have another round of applause for Heather Aubrey Lloyd. That was unbelievable. What a songbird.
This is another one we wrote a while back. It was supposed to be sort of autobiographical. If we wouldn't have written it so soon if we'd known we were going to live so long, because a lot of stuff happened after we wrote the song. But we occasionally add verses to it, and we will do one new one, recent one, and certainly the last one we'll write, but we'll do that after we do the regular song. Well, it was 68 and we were almost free. We were losing the war in our virginity. It was me and my guitar in a village bar, even bleaker than McDougal. Thank you. Thank you. I wrote that. I pulled over to the side of the road and cried. 10 lost souls in a sad cafe, praying like hell to keep the devil away. And me all alone at the microphone, trying to get my song to the heart of the audience.
Well, they signed me to a record deal I couldn't believe. I was playing the Fillmore on Christmas Eve. Between the blood, sweat, and tears and the Allman Brothers Live, they were all alive. And as the very last note on the last song died, all the matches went up. What a heavenly life. It was good to get and better to give. I knew I was born to live in the heart of the audience. Oh, we were younger then. Do you remember when it made a difference?
Vagabond 70s in full flight, I was out on the road in the American night. Huckleberry Finn at the Ramada Inn with the lady from the student union, singing for the children with the heart of gold in the Tennessee sun and the Dakota cold. I was one of them, they were a part of me. I knew that I had to be in the heart of the audience. Oh, we were younger then. Do you remember when? Do you remember when it made a difference in the heart of the audience? Oh, we were younger then. Do you remember when? Made a difference. I rode the rock and roller coaster right into the ground. I filled a book full of numbers from 100 towns. I drive all day and I get to play for an hour with an encore. Well, I couldn't get off and I couldn't go on, so I had to get out before the feeling was gone. On an outdoor stage underneath the sky, I stopped and I said goodbye to the heart of the audience. Well, I tried like the devil to do anything else, but I had to admit that I was fooling myself. Maybe it's my destiny, maybe it's my star, maybe I'm just too dumb to quit. And the old 68, it keeps jumping the track, and if the women don't kill me, I'll keep coming back to the only lover I never deceived, the one that I just can't leave, the heart of the audience. Oh, we were younger then. Do you remember when? Do you remember when it made a difference in the heart of the audience? Heart of the audience. Oh, we were younger then. Oh, we were younger then. Do you remember when it made a difference in the heart? In the heart of the audience. The heart of the audience. Heart of the audience. In the heart of the audience. In the heart, in the heart, in the heart. Marshall Rosenberg. Let's hear it for him. So, like I said, we did write some other verses, and this is the latest, and I'm sure the last. Now we're over 68 and we're almost free. We live to see things we never thought we'd see. The world got sick and the orange prick made it worse than we could imagine. we still need to sing and we still need to laugh. It's a little too soon to write our epitaph. Hey, it's all been grand, give yourself a hand. Here's a love letter from the band to the heart of the audience. The heart of the audience.
The heart
Of the audience.
heart of the audience.
Thank you. It's so much fun to sing, and the orange prick made it really fun. Small measure of revenge, but
This is a song I wrote with Andy Goldmark, and Bette Midler recorded it. She fucked it up. You know, I always thought no one can bend my will. I've always called the shots, but darling, you shoot to kill. Why'd you have to come around this town thinking you could take me hands down? Well, now look whose aim is true. You got me heart over head, over heart, over head, over you. Where did you get your touch? I'm heart over head, over heart, over head, over you. I like it too much. I'm heart over head, over heart, in love with you. For all the times I've run, guess I was just afraid I'd finally meet the one who'd steal my masquerade. I'm not counting on your sympathy, but no one's supposed to see this side of me. Well, now look who's showing through. You got me heart over head, over heart, over head, over you. And if I fall all night, heart over head, over heart, over head, over you. Keep on holding me tight. She's heart over head, over heart. Is this my high noon? Coming too soon. Better shoot for the moon, reach for the sky. I'm falling heart over head, over heart, and I don't know why. Where did you get your touch? I'm heart over head, over heart, and I don't know why. I like it too much. I'm heart over head, over heart, over head, over you. And if I fall all night, heart over head, over heart, over head, over you. Keep on holding me tight, heart over head, over heart, in love with you, in love with you. What's up?
oops. This is one of our favorites because a couple of reasons. It's written kind of in two different keys. which is sort of a trademark of ours, but in this song we do it intentionally. But my favorite part is near the end. There's a part where we sing over the same chords. We sing two different melodies with two different sets of lyrics, and we didn't realize the joy potential inherent in that until we did it at this big festival where this guy was signing. One of my great days in folk music. One, two, 1, 2, 3, and. I was mending fence on Anderson's farm out by the airport road, paying him back for the snowmobile, working off what I owed. When the cab slowed down on the way to town, and for a second I saw your face, looking beautiful and sad and out of place. It was me that took you out to the plane the summer that you went away. And you said more on that hour ride than I'd ever heard you say. About the world out there and the cities where the clock doesn't stop at 10. And how they'd never see your face out here again. Last September I fixed the furnace, I cleaned my rifle, I burned my leaves. In December I worked on weekends, I made some extra and bought new skis. January the snow kept falling, my niece was born and my pickup died. Then in April I opened windows and brought my easy chair outside. Finished the fence and jumped in my car, put on an old cassette, took the long way around by the reservoir. I needed to clear my head. I've been thinking about you all afternoon. I was blowing cold and hot. I could make a case for seeing you or not. I stood on the porch and rang your bell, tucked my shirt in and combed my hair. You opened the door looking tired and worn, I kinda wished I wasn't there. We sat around the table in the kitchen and talked, catching up and filling in. And you told me what a run around your life had been. You said 7 a.m. Monday morning, inside a car, behind a car, behind a car, stuck on the LIE. And another coked up weekend ripped off the calendar, meeting at 9, clients at 10. They'll moan again, lunch with the LA brass, the drinking class. Gonna be another wine 'em, dine 'em, laugh at the jokes and block the pass afternoon. And back to the padded room, and a stack of printouts, reports, and copies of memos department heads write and nobody reads. I came in open-eyed, now I think I'm gonna die if I don't get outside. played and talked and I fell in love. You put a Mozart record on. The arm kept going back again. We heard it all night long. The next 3 months I was living a dream. I'd never seen the sky so blue. It was like the world was made for me and you. I hated crying when I read your note. I felt so immature. I thought it was your heart and soul, but I was just your cure. You left me for the life that tore you up. Who am I to say that's wrong? Maybe we all end up where we belong. Last September I fixed the car behind a car stuck on the alley, and another coked up weekend dripped off the calendar.
In
Meeting at 9, clients at 10.
Worked on
Phone again, lunch with the LA
made
brass,
some
a drinking
extra
class. Gonna be
on
another wine
Newskies.
dine. I'm laughing at the jokes
January,
past
the
afternoon.
snow kept
And back to
falling.
the padded
My
room.
niece
And a
was
stack of
born,
reports and
I
copies of memos.
picked
Department
up
heads writing, nobody reads.
Then in
can't even
April I opened
I
windows
think I'm gonna
and
die
brought my
if I don't
easy chair
get
outside.
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 That was slow.
Yes. What else?
What's that? This is a new song, but since I have to retune the whole guitar, Robin is going to tell you about what he's been studying at Harvard.
I went back to college. And rather than study biochemistry, which was my first concentration, they told me that I already finished what I was required to do, get a biology degree, so I could take whatever I wanted for the last semester that I had to finish to complete the 8 semesters to get a degree. And so naturally I picked ancient Greece. And this summer I took a course in Introduction to the Ancient Greek World, just to see if I could still do homework, to see it was silly to go back to college. And I did okay and fell in love, more deeply in love with the idea of ancient Greece. Athens was kind of where it all came together, sort of like you hear the phrase, all roads lead to Rome. Well, it was all minds, all thoughts led to Athens in the 5th century BC. And all kinds of things came out of it. Theater, philosophy, science, democracy, first start. And the whole wheel of more democracy to more oligarchy, the back and forth thing, which happens in every country, including our own, was happening in the 5th century BC. It wasn't any different.
Okay, I'm tuned, can it?
And my blog, Last in His Class at Harvard, should be ready.
Is that the name of your blog?
This is next month. That's right. I figure I'm going to be the last kid in my class who graduates, so.
The odds are good, yeah.
Okay.
F, try F. 2 college educations.
Well, it's taken me 51 years, so it's, what can you expect?
So how's Joe, I said to Rob.
He's great, man. He's great. He's driving round Columbia with a Cartagena chica, a courtesan who caught his heart. Yes, it's true, I'm telling you straight. They were out by the pool at midnight, getting buzzed on those perfect Mai Tais. The moon was a demon yellow, he said. He felt himself bewitched, he said. She looked at him, he looked at her, and he saw his life in her eyes. Love is where you find it. It's hiding in plain sight. Only takes a skipping heart to know you've got it right. No, it's not arrhythmia. It's the rhythm of the night. It's the ocean in your ears. It's the fire in the light.
They camp out in euphoria, all reason set aside. They walk the Andes highland or lie wondering at their fortune under palms at Playa Blanca, two bright seashells in the tide. How could I have imagined it, climbing mountains at my age? In the contract with my maker that we all signed blind and innocent, I noticed no such promises. I must have skipped a page.
Love is where you find it. It's hiding in plain sight. Only takes a skipping heart to know you've got it right. It's the tug on your string as the wind fills your kite. It's the ocean in your ears. It's the fire in the light. A more unlikely love I never reckoned. Why me for her, or her for me like this? 100 other sirens might have beckoned and never turned my head or owned me with a kiss. The heat of lightning amazes, bright fingers claw the sky. They walk late night streets together in a town he liked the name of, in a place he picked at random, thought it might be fun to try.
Now Rob and me, we're laughing at the strangeness of it all. An odyssey for good old Joe. We never thought we'd get to know Gauguin. And yeah, we're laughing, but we've all heard the call.
Love is where you find it. It's hiding in plain sight. Only takes a skipping heart to know you've got it right. It's the roar in the engine. It's the song of second sight. It's the ocean in your ears. It's the fire in the light. Fire in the light.
It's the fire in the light.
Fire, fire,
Oh,
fire,
love is
fire,
the
fire. Fire in the light. Fire, it's the fire in the.
Cool. Nice, Martha. You did a Nancy song now? Okay, good.
We lost another stalwart in the folk world a couple of weeks ago when Nancy Griffith fell. She and I spent 7 months together way back when. I was squiring her around on tour, playing the violin, and I think we fell in and out of love several times over the 7 months, and she'll be missed. She wrote a song called The Wing and the Wheel, which I always thought was us. She was the wheel, and I was the wing. We rode, we flew like a wild thing. Notes that tumbled across each spring as we cried out to the world. Little toy trucks on her windowsill caught the light as she sang with a whippoorwill. The trucks still roll, but the voice is still. Let's cry out to the world. Let's cry out for hunger, for fear and the pain. She roared like the thunder, she cried like the rain. Let us cry out for justice. In her very words, let's sing for the children, the beasts and the birds. She was the wheel, and I was the wind. We rolled, we flew like a wild thing. Notes they danced across each string as she cried out to the world. As she cried out to the world. She cried out to the moon. Cried out. Thank you, Nancy.
Now, there's this kid been hanging around backstage. I think he's lost. But I could tell by the way he looks at the guitar and everything, he'd really love a chance to pick it up and play a song or two. I figured, what the hell, it's been 2 years since anybody could. So can we bring the kid out? Kid? Oh, he got lost? Point him towards the stage. Yeah.
What's Robin doing over there?
No, have the lemonade later. Come here, kid.
Thank you, David.
Whoop. Unplug.
Okay.
I've done this before. Have you?
Oh, it's wonderful to be with you. I never miss a Buskin and Batteau show if I can possibly make it. And after years of begging and pleading and email and a few threats, they finally agreed to let me sing a couple songs with them. And what a pleasure. Well, like the rest of you during the pandemic, Lord, what was I going to do? I sat there last March of 20 and just sat in my chair for a couple days, several days, And when I realized that it was actually becoming a potato, I started writing songs again. And I've been writing with some dear friends and a few songs on my own. This is one I wrote alone. I must tell you that the woman in this song is not Jean Ritchie of Kentucky, much beloved friend of mine and yours. But to her memory, the song is lovingly dedicated. She is down in the subway playing Carter family music on a battered old Gibson guitar. Wearing blue jeans, a sweatshirt, worn out leather sandals, she is deeply singing out on Wildwood Flower. I will twine, I will mingle in a voice of spun silver. She sings to the bleak passers-by. She's an underground angel playing Mind on Kentucky with her heart in the sweet by and by. Far away across these wide blue mountains, some fine day I know I'm bound to ride. Ride to castles and kings and bright painted rings, far away on the green mountainside. Far away on the green mountainside. She is down in the subway singing Mama's favorite songs, songs that came from the lands across the sea. Now a dime, now a quarter, in her guitar case will jingle as she sings of the lost Oralee. And these songs from the cabin echo here on the concrete and remind her of pure mountain sky. She's an underground angel with her mind in Kentucky and her heart in the sweet by and by. Far away across these wide blue mountains, one fine day I know I'm bound to ride to castles and kings, bright painted rings, far away on the green mountainside. Far away on the green mountainside, or far away on the green mountainside. Thank you.
Tom Paxton.
Thank you very much. Thanks. I haven't done that one too many times yet, so I'm still nervous when I sing it. But two of the people I've been writing with regularly, thanks to Zoom, are your friends and mine, Kathy Fink and John McCutcheon. A name that will not be familiar to you, but which I hope you'll remember, is a young man from Colorado named Jackson Emmer. I met Jackson. I heard him perform in a little bitty barn theater outside of Carbondale, Colorado. And we hit up a friendship and started writing songs together. This is the very first song that we wrote. I said, Jackson, I want to write a two-step. I want to write a Texas dance. Let's write that. And this is what we did. First shot hit the chandelier. Second shot hit a bottle of beer. Third shot was a roll of the dice. Fourth shot scattered the 3 blind mice. Fifth shot up, sixth shot down. Shot every shadow in the whole damn town. But nobody runs when he comes around. He's the worst gunfighter in Texas. Back in the day when he was young, on the Lone Star Prairie he found a gun. Handle was busted, sights were gone. He polished that gun from dusk till dawn. He practiced shooting on his daddy's farm, but it couldn't even hit his daddy's barn. So no one shows the least alarm. He's the worst gunfighter in Texas. First shot hit the chandelier. The second shot hit a bottle of beer. Third shot was a roll of the dice. Fourth shot scattered the 3 blind mice. Fifth shot up, sixth shot down. Shot every shadow in the whole damn town. Nobody runs when he comes around. He's the worst gunfighter in Texas. Prairie dogs watching from up on the hill. He can't hit a cactus even though it's standing still. He goes blam, blam, blam. You hear damn, damn, damn. He's the worst gunfighter in Texas. First shot hit the chandelier. The second shot hit a bottle of beer. Third shot was a roll of the dice. Fourth shot scattered the 3 blind mice. Fifth shot up, sixth shot down. Shot every shadow in the whole damn town. But nobody runs when he comes around. He's the worst gunfighter in Texas. He's the worst, blam, damn, gunfighter in Texas. Thanks very much.
Tom Paxton.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Tom Paxton. Woo! I think he said that on one night at a dusty little club in Greenwich Village while listening to a Dave Van Ronk show, he wrote 3 songs on a napkin, all of which became hits.
No, one of them was the worst he'd ever heard.
One of them was the worst he'd ever heard.
The other one was okay. And I think the third one was called Ramblin' Boy. Well,
Sounds like 3 hits to me.
they're not making Paxtons anymore. He's going to be on a stamp sooner or later. This is my turn. Get out of here. Joe College. So Robin, when in his solo spot, he hit struck a very emotional chord and poignant, filled with pathos. That shit's over. My friend and erstwhile co-group member, Rob Carlson, told me that he said, did you know that a lot of songwriters now are, a lot of famous songwriters are revising their lyrics to reflect the graying of their audience? I said, I didn't know that. I said, can you give me an example? He said, well, yeah, Joni Mitchell.
Well, I get the urge for going. Then I get the urge for going. Then I get another urge for going. That's like they're all about that long. Tell me what'd you say? Tell me what'd you say just now? Please help me, I've fallen. These are quick. You got to get them as they go by. Night vision, night vision. I can't see the exit. It's the early bird again. Dinner at 4:30's fine. You can save $1.10, and you don't have to wait in line. With your pants up nice and high, and your walkers gleaming chrome. If you're still full from having lunch, you can leave your teeth at home. Mrs. Brown, you've got to hold your water. Old man, you don't have to be down. Old man, pick yourself off the ground. Old man, there's a lot to be found. It comes with your subscription. AARP, it's fun to read about folks old as me. Well, you can take a safe bath, you can ride up the stairs, save a bundle on your bus fares when you belong to the AARP. Yeah, that R is a little tricky there. Gallbladder. Dun, dun. I'm Mr. Feynman from the county, and you can't drive our main roads. This one might be my favorite. Yeah. My dentist gets rich when I'm in the chair. That's just the way of the world. Old fillings they wear. Send in the crowns. There ought to be crowns. I know. When I wrote that, I really did pull over to the side of the road. That's thank you. That's brilliant. If they don't laugh at that, they're deaf. Yesterday, oops, all my children live so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Or can we go back? I forgot to yesterday. That was pretty slick. Tom Rush gave me the idea for this one. How does it feel? I say, how does it feel to be all alone? No one hears you moan. The nurse is on the phone, and nothing makes you groan like a kidney stone. You young people think this is fiction, don't you? Okay, last one. Try to remember. Thank you.
David Buskin, the man, the genius.
When I work with my daughter, sometimes she found all these old jokes on the internet. So she'll throw in, "Is it true, Dad, that your original name ended in Osaurus?" Thank you, Soph. That's funny. What are we doing? Oh,
Call.
wait a minute. I got to count it off.
Right. You got to count it off. You know, you counted this off so many times. We know the count. Besides, you're starting it by yourself.
Yeah, but you still got to count it off.
You
One.
got to count it down.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4.
She's a vixen, a spy, a walking alibi. No telling what that girl will do. The only thing you can count on is you can't count on her. Listen, I'm telling you, you really ought to call that girl.
You really ought to call that girl.
You really ought to call
really
that
ought to call
girl.
that girl. You gotta be out of your mind to fall in love in this world. You really ought to call that girl. You really ought to call that girl.
She's a temptress, a tease. She'll bring you to your knees. She's too much woman for you. She's a high-heeled assassin. She'll stiletto your heart. Here's what I think you should do. You really ought to call that girl.
You really ought to call that
You
girl.
really ought to call
really
that
ought to
girl.
call that girl. You gotta be out of your mind to fall in love in this world. You really ought to call that girl. I know you too well to believe it when you tell me you can take her or leave her or take her. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I bet you call her tonight.
So what are you gonna say? What are you gonna do? What do you think your opening line will be?
Don't get hung up on your history of heartbreak, and don't tell her you were talking to me.
You really ought to call that
You
girl.
really ought to call that girl.
really ought to call
really
that
ought to
girl.
call that girl. You gotta be out of your mind to fall in love in this world. You really ought to call that girl. You really ought to call that girl. Woo! You really ought to call that girl.
This is for you, Sam.
There he sat by the river, by the road, watching for an omen, waiting for the signal to begin, looking for a way out or a way to get back in. The boy with the violin, a gold Mercedes slowed down and pulled aside. A golden lady opened the door and stepped into the night. She could see the silhouette of someone in the moonlight, a boy with a violin. She said, "Boy, where you going? Are you okay? Would you like to travel my way? If you need to lay down, I know where you can stay. Young boy with a violin." The boy said, all the way to her mansion. He never said a word. The sound of a falling teardrop was all the woman heard. So he lay in the guest room. He didn't notice her coming. His eyes were far from what was happening. She pulled back the covers and she kissed his tender skin. The boy with the violin. She awoke in the morning and she reached out her hand. Her fingers closed on no one, and she did not understand. But the window was wide open. There were footprints in the dew. In her heart, she was hoping, but deep inside, she knew.
When I first heard Robin play that, I pulled over to the side of the road and threw my violin out of the car. You say my smile is like a summer day. But what if tears begin to fall? If things get bad, will you be on your way? Will you be here when I need you most of all? When gray geese honk across the autumn sky, will you look up and hear the call? Will you be like the geese and have to fly? Will you be here when I need you most of all? When I am snowblind and it seems that the mountains and the trees are too distant and too tall. When I am having my December dreams, will you be here when I need you most of all? Take another one. When we fight and sit without a word, watching the flowers climb the wall, will it be spoken and will it be heard? Will you be here when I need you most of all? I don't mean moments of unkindness or anger. There'll be days when the house is just too small. But if I let you see my heart and mind, will you be here when I need you most of all? Want to bring Heather out? Heather, you want to come out and sing some Oz on this one, or oohs, or? It doesn't really happen till near the end.
Dave, you gonna be able to get to your piano with that mic stand?
Oh, no, I'm going to have to sit.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, right. Thanks for reminding
Around
me.
the stage, like,
Yeah.
okay, here we are. It's the wireless mic, right?
Thank you for
Yes.
to everybody who made this night necessary, in the words of Yogi Berra.
Thank
Especially,
you, WFMA.
especially Chuck Morris. But also, thank you, Noel, for the great sound, and thanks for
Yeah.
everybody for doing the, what do you call it, Zoom, one of them newfangled webnet things.
Do you know they have like 90 people watching on the YouTube channel right now?
Yeah.
I wanted to thank, of course, Tom Paxton. Thank you. Thanks, Shelley, for the great food, the kosher food.
Yeah, Shelley.
Thanks all the people who helped out, Brett and Tom and everybody else who made themselves useful. Thank you so much.
So this is a song about the eternal triangle. A man, a woman, a lawyer. No, it's about Arthur and Guinevere and Lancelot and Helen and Paris and Menelaus and all the other mythic triangles that ring through all our lives as we have to live every point of that triangle. Guinevere, in my castle in Normandy, make a new home with me. Come follow me down, Guinevere. All my honor and glory will just be a story of the fall of the crown. Am I some dancing Lancelot who only falls in love with a woman who belongs to someone else? Is it just the blood of Paris running through my veins that sees a taken woman and myself I can't restrain? Is this knight of cups in his noble stance just a jack of clubs with an eye askance on the queen of hearts in a royal blue? I may shield the poor, but I can't save you, Guinevere. In my castle in Normandy, make a new home with me. Come follow me down, Guinevere. All my honor and glory will just be a story of the fall of the crown. Golden apples on the mountain, this one fell to me. We are planets in a heartless gravity. I never chose to make a choice. It felt like someone else's voice saying all those crazy things down on one knee. Cassandra never cast a shadow, now it's racing to the shore. Oh, the face that launched 1,000 ships is sailing one more. Guinevere, in my castle in Normandy, make a new home with me. Come follow me down, Guinevere. All my honor and glory will just be a story of the fall of the crown. Thank you so much. All right. Woo-hoo!
No, because the piano's messing up. This is, the hell? This is a song about one of my favorite activities, camping. Well, I was packing my gear after a festival appearance. The show had gone real good when a bunch of people with a kind of earthy smell said, "We're staying out in those woods." They said, "We'd like you to join us. There's plenty of room. Got a nice big tent and there's a big full moon." I stood upwind and said the only thing that I could. Yeah, how to tell 'em, choose, don't camp. If it hasn't got a lobby, I don't want it for a hobby. Yeah, it's cold and damp. Let me give you the news. Choose, don't camp. Well, now it's really quite simple. Part of my tradition, taught to me in my youth. After 40 years in the desert, the 11th commandment says, go to bed under a roof. I'm pretty certain I could live without real bear hugs. Ain't keen to be cuisine for $500,000 bugs. And 10 times out of 10 I pick bagels over berries and roots. That's why I gotta say, choose, don't camp. If it hasn't got a kitchen and it isn't air conditioned, where's the exit ramp? Get my walking shoes. Choose, don't camp. If I were a Gentile, I would love to fish and hunt and get my water from a stream. But until there's seltzer in the brook, or maybe a nice egg cream, choose, don't camp. Using leaves instead of Charmin may be fine if you're a Mormon, but I'm not that stamp, so I gotta refuse. Well, Jews don't camp. La la la, oi la la la. La la la, oi la la. If you get tired of the diet, you can meet me at the Hyatt, babe. Jews don't camp. 'Cause when you sit down at a Seder, no one there is wearing waders. No, Jews don't camp. I got a giant television, it's a perk of circumcision, 'cause Jews don't camp. Hey! In this, of all places to sing that. Thank you. Be careful going home.
One more round of applause for Buskin and Batteau. Isn't it great to be back? Wasn't that wonderful? Thank you again to everyone for coming out and supporting live music. Without you, we wouldn't have the ability to put on shows like this, so we're glad you were able to come out. Thanks again to Focus for co-sponsoring it. And thank you for wearing your masks and taking care of your neighbor, helping keep everybody safe. Appreciate it. Have a great night. There's you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here anymore. So All right. Good night, everyone.